Hello, this is Dudley Baker, back with you today with another interesting segment for you. So let's just say that you're a subscriber and you just bought some stock warrants. And you could ask the question to yourself, say, okay, now, man, do I need to exercise these warrants? How does this work? Well, let me answer it this way. If you just ask me the question, when do I exercise the warrants? My answer is never, never, never. Do not even think about it. With publicly traded warrants, it's a very efficient marketplace. And so when you buy the publicly traded warrants, you're just playing this game. If you want to sell them tomorrow, you sell them. If you want to take advantage, if you've got a 5-year warrant, if you want to hold for the whole 5 years, basically, you want to exit, you want to sell in the marketplace at least a few days before the warrant's going to expire, and take advantage of this. It is not even on your mind, not necessary, not required, not advisable, does not make any sense. Any way you want to phrase this, you will never be exercising your warrants. Now, I will say, unfortunately, I have heard others on YouTube with some different thoughts on this subject. I don't know if they've ever bought a warrant in their life. Some of these are professionals. That still does not mean that you know all about warrants and all this good stuff. I mean, this has basically been my whole life, so I know how this game works. But other big name professionals, in my stock warrant handbook, I've got one little section where I talk about one time I'm in New York for one of the big mining conferences. The night before, a lot of the newsletter writers are standing around. We're just saying hello and hadn't seen each other in a while. And one of the newsletter writers, to be not to be named, okay, said, Dudley, I hate to ask you this, but what is a stock warrant? And man, I got quiet for a minute and didn't really know how to answer. Finally just gave him the basic definition of what a warrant is. But what this told me is several things. Is that this individual, even though they were in the business, they did not know about stock warrants, didn't know what a warrant was. That means that they never participated in a private placement, even though they've been in the business. Otherwise, because virtually every private placement in the mining sector has a stock warrant attached. So you would have been forced to learn what you just acquired. So you can hear different cross currents of information. I grant you that. But you can take this one to the bank. You do not think about exercising. Now, if you participate, okay, now let's put a big separation on this. If you have the opportunity and participate in a private placement, whether that be in a mining company or in the Canadian markets or whether in the U.S., and if it's a private placement with warrants attached, different story. If you're fortunate and the stock goes up and it's above the exercise price, yes, you will have that opportunity, and you will have to exercise those warrants, and that'll be a good thing, because if you're exercising that means that the warrant is in the money, and you've made money on this transaction. So basically, we got two different markets going on. The publicly traded market, never, 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 never will you be exercising your warrants, and the private placement market, where yes, you will have to exercise to take advantage of receiving the warrants. Okay, that's the way it works. Interestingly, here as I record this on April the 9th, 2024, So we've got one warrant that will be expiring on April 30th this year. So we're only, 3 weeks out from expiration. This warrant is deep into the money. It is trading tick for tick, penny for penny, with the common shares. And so it's an interesting situation. As you really hold, I previously owned these warrants myself, and I mean, we've only got a few weeks left, so this is on Eris Mining. It's Eris Mining Warrant B. Previously, this was a warrant on the Grand Columbia Gold that was issued as a 5-year warrant. And I actually sold, didn't want to write it down to the end myself, didn't know exactly what gold was going to be doing, so I closed out about a month ago. Unfortunately, it left some pretty good dollars on the table. We've been really fortunate now that anybody that did hold is basically got another full point out of this warrant, which has been great. Now the question is whether you listening would be a current subscriber or someone just listening. I don't know what the price of gold is going to be in the next 3 weeks. I don't know what the price of the common shares of Eris Mining are going to be, and I sure don't know what the warrant's going to be selling for. But you have to do something. You are forced to do it. So and you're not going to be exercising. So all you do is a few days before, or at any time right now, you need to be thinking about seriously exiting this position, just selling into the market, okay? And be grateful that you've had this opportunity and that you've made some money. So anyhow, interesting story. A lot of times, we've come from several not great years in the mining space, so we haven't had many opportunities where the warrants actually have gone off the board in the money, in this particular case. So this is a good fun story in real time. But yeah, okay. But that's the story. Publicly traded warrants, you will never exercise. Private placement warrants, yes, you will have to. I hope this makes sense to you. I hope we bring some clarity to the subject. Okay. Well, again, what we do here at Common Stock Warrants, we've got all the databases with all the stock warrants that are trading, U.S. and Canada. We're talking about a monster amount. We're sitting on roughly 850 companies, or maybe more at the moment. This will still include all the SPACs, all the mining companies. We've got companies in the AI sector, a lot of interesting opportunities. I personally cannot be informed on all of these companies. We input the data into our databases. This is a monster amount of work. And team and I, we do this. And but yet we cannot be familiar with each and every company in our database. It just doesn't make sense that anybody could be. But we've got everything where you can slice it, dice it, sort it any way that you want, our data, and look for any opportunities that you deem relevant for you, okay, for any industry and any sector. So those of you that if you like what you're hearing and say, well, Dudley, what do you do? Well, I've got another in the service, the gold service I call it, where you actually get to see my personal portfolio. And my personal portfolio, admittedly, is basically in the mining sector. This has always been my hot button. I like it. Our timing now is incredible. And this is what I've got. And even for me, maybe 20% of all my positions are in stock warrants. 20, 25%. I don't have a hard and fast rule. And but I've got a lot of small, micro cap mining companies that my projection, we're going to be going from pennies to dollars, maybe more. So I'm in for the big ride. Planning on making a killing here within the next 2 years. If we're lucky, we got 2-year window. If we get 3 years, that's wonderful too. Would like to get a nice trend, little up, little down. At the last several months, we want to see parabolic. We want to see blast off, and I think it's going to happen. So just a lot of great opportunities. So with that, guys, we're going to get out of here today. If you like what you hear, click the like button on this YouTube. You can hit the subscribe button to our channel. It doesn't cost you a penny. We've got some bonuses if you just visit the homepage of our website, commonstockwarrants.com. You can pick up these bonuses for free, okay? With that, we're out of here for today. Adios.